Fox News, America is watching.
Well, the FAA is under fire again, this time for fast-tracking the approval process of Southwest Airlines' plans to go to Hawaii. The agency is already being criticized over its approval process of the 737 MAX. Of course, those planes involved in 2 deadly crashes. That plane is still on the ground. Let's talk about safety. Let's talk about our skies. Let's talk about airlines. Let's bring in Banyan Hill senior analyst Ian King. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Cheryl. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. We're looking at Southwest in the pre-market. It's actually a little bit lower as we await these earnings for Southwest Airlines. This news about the fast tracking from the FAA. How concerned are you about this when it comes to the company's earnings? And is this a stain on the FAA or Southwest?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I think that the whistleblower complaint is really more focused on the FAA. And it's not going to have a material impact on Southwest earnings. It looks like a $3.9 million penalty. And it really focuses on this new route between California and Hawaii and the fact that the approval process was rushed because what happened was in early 2018, government FAA workers were furloughed and they wanted to kind of make up and speed up the application and the approval process afterwards. So I don't see it being any material impact on Southwest. Okay. The bigger story here that people have to think about when it comes to these the airline earnings this morning is what is the impact of coronavirus? And I really don't think we've seen this fully play out yet.
Well, to your point, we've already heard from United. We've already got their numbers, but United could be really affected by coronavirus and Delta as well. And they are definitely assessing their plans for China. You're absolutely correct. I want to go back to the issue of Southwest because we're also going to be hearing from American and JetBlue today. But there is a Stifel note out, a Stifel analyst who is saying the best plan for Southwest is to buy JetBlue. Is M&A the answer here?
That's really interesting. JetBlue actually trades at a discount valuation to other airlines because they operate in the Northeast, and a lot of those routes get disrupted, as you might know, in the winter months. So I don't know about too much consolidation in domestic airlines. I mean, I went back and I looked at the financial impact of Ebola to compare it to kind of situation where I'm right now. Between September and October of 2014, you had a 20% drop in Southwest Airlines in 1 month. You had a 30% drop in Delta, a 20% drop in JetBlue, and of course a 10% drop in the S&P 500. So I think that investors in these airlines really need to be focusing on what the headlines are coming out of China.
Well, yeah, the sector has underperformed the S&P 500. That happened last year. Before you go really quick, I want to go back to Southwest and the MAX. They were expecting 44 MAXs last year, 38 this year, 44 next year. Does the company address this morning on the call?
I mean, you would think they would have to say something about it. They obviously grounded all their 730 MAXs last year after the horrific, second crash. But I don't know what's going to happen here. Boeing, for the first time last year, had more cancellations than they had orders for the first time in decades. Yeah. Airbus stock is up 60%. I mean, you would think Boeing is too big to fail right now, but it's really hard to tell at this point.
Ian King. Ian, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.